Yo guys, what is up? Welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio, and in today's video we're going to be discussing the dollar index and the major dollar pairs. So starting off with the dollar index, I'm just here on the daily time frame showcasing you guys what we have. Over here we have our swing low up above, over here we have our swing high. This is one massive impulse, and all of this inside of here is just a correction for a potential next leg up. So what I'm looking at the moment is that, okay, we saw that correction deep in towards this extreme area of demand. Since then, we broke this structural high. So we got the impulse up, got a pullback, and we got an impulse up, and now we're seeing it pull back again. So we're currently inside this daily area of demand over here. We wicked in, we rejected that 618 Fibonacci retracement level, and we're now looking to see if we can push further in towards the highs. So the only thing that I'm currently looking at are two things, actually. So we have still this area of demand over here inside the extreme leg, so at 104.437. And at the moment, if we look at the daily time frame as well, we can see that we kind of are rejecting this overall area of supply at the moment. So this as well, this high is your fractal high. So it is still looking a little bit bearish, but at the same time, this supply zone hasn't really achieved anything. It hasn't broken any structure at all. So there's nothing really specific that this supply zone achieved, and therefore it's not really a strong one. So I am looking for further upside movement, but for that we need to see a shift on the 4-hour time frame. So going in towards the 4-hour time frame, it's very simple, guys. What we can see is that once again we pretty much have this as a swing high, this as a swing low. We see an impulse down, this is a correction, currently reacting to this supply zone, which broke all of these levels of support and also broke this area of demand. So this is now currently kind of like the main supply zone that we're rejecting. Over here we have an area of supply. So what I'm looking at is to see, okay, are we going to pull back in towards that supply? How are we going to react? Are we going to react bearish? Then we look for shorts. If we just break that area of supply, then I do think that we're going to create that new daily higher high. So that's it for the dollar index. Now moving on in towards euro dollar. So euro dollar overall, if we look at it, it has kind of been consolidating, not the best of price action. Going in towards the daily over here, we can see, however, that the daily has been reacting to this area of supply. But once again, very similar to the dollar index, fractal structure is still bullish. So we pretty much just pulled back in towards this imbalance candle over here, and from there we've started to move back up again. So what I'm actually looking for is maybe one impulse back up before the next dump in towards the downside, which could then kind of like facilitate a change of character. Boom, boom, something like this, you know. So that's what I'm looking for from a daily perspective. Daily still looking bearish, guys. If we just look at structure very simply, swing high, swing low, currently pulled back pretty much in towards the 50% mark. If we just draw in the fib retracement tool, you can see that we actually indeed perfectly hit that 50% mark, perfectly hit supply, and therefore we are looking for further downside. Now going in towards the 4-hour, you can see that the 4-hour is still a little bit bullish. Once again, what I would preferably want to see is one more break of this high, maybe move more in towards the extreme area of supply, and then kind of like you see maybe something like this, break this low, and then look for that short in towards the downside. So I definitely do see some short-term upside movements still from euro dollar to potentially come. Yeah, let's see what happens over there. Going in towards AUDUSD. So AUDUSD is currently at resistance, very simply said. We can very clearly see that this is your area of resistance. I mean, we know, and I mentioned this last week as well, we don't really trade support and resistance, but obviously if we look at structure itself, this is the swing high, this is the swing low, this is the bearish impulse down, this is a pullback, and now we're looking for a bearish impulse down once again. Now going in towards the 4-hour time frame, it is looking still pretty bullish in all honesty. What I'm looking at for the rest of today is pretty much just how we are going to react to this area of demand. So this area of demand over here, this area of consolidation, and as we can see, we have been pushing up higher, so higher high, higher high, higher low, and a higher low. So obviously we are looking kind of like for one more push up higher, and this overall supply zone, this buy before a big sell-off, we've already tapped into it twice. So the first time over here, second time over here, we actually even spiked through it. So there's not a lot of supply really suppressing price. And obviously above areas of, let's say, support and resistance, especially above a swing high, there is still liquidity. So it's still above 0.66677, there's still liquidity. So I'm looking actually for one potential move up higher still. So yeah, focusing on the 15-minute today. Overall, if we look at market structure, break and a break. So at the moment, this is kind of like the main high to break. Until then, you could still look for a deeper push in towards the downside, maybe in towards deeper areas of demand. But until we break this, or once we break this, then definitely looking for those longs. Going in towards pound dollar over here on the 4-hour time frame. So pound dollar, definitely looking for shorts. I like shorts more on this pair than on these other pairs. Overall, we grab the liquidity above this trend line, also above this swing high. You can see kind of like a fake out after breaking above this liquidity high, pushing in towards this buy before the sell where there is supply. So what I'm now looking for is a further short from this area of supply, but we need to see a shift on the 15-minute time frame. As we can see, the 15-minute is still consolidating. So let's just see and wait what happens once we start either grabbing liquidity real quick above this swing high over here, boom, 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 and then we look for that further downside movement, or if we start breaking structure over here, I'm also happy to look for that short. Going in towards NZDUSD and then in towards the 4-hour, again, very similar to what these other pairs are doing already since last week. We've just been consolidating. Actually, all of last week we were consolidating inside this box. Nothing really happened. What I would like to see is one more push up. We're kind of like in a decisional area of demand. If this demand zone holds up, this sell for the buy, then definitely look for that one more long, liquidate this high and move in towards supply. And then from that supply zone, we look for a short. If we break this area of demand, then we're going to be looking for a downside push in towards this demand zone. Very simple as that. So keep an eye on the 15. If the 15-minute starts to shift and we start breaking this high, for example, then look for a long like this, right? Otherwise, if we break this area of demand, then we'll just continue looking for a short. Last pair is gold. Gold is a little bit more on the boring side of things, pushed up higher once again, guys, in towards this overall area of supply. If we draw it from the wick of the overall buy before the sell-off, you can see that we've now wicked in towards there. For the rest, I mean, the longer that we stayed inside this supply zone, the less that we saw. So at the moment, a lot of bullish momentum. Overall, what I'm now looking for is actually after this shift is a pullback in towards this overall area of consolidation, and from there looking for a further long towards a new all-time high. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day and speak soon.